It has arrived. Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton face-to-face on the CNN debate stage tonight, just days before the critical New York primary.
Ted Cruz blasting Donald Trump on the CNN town hall stage, saying his campaign encourages violence. As Trump's manager is cleared of accusations he assaulted a reporter.
Breaking overnight, a record shattered. The Golden State Warriors, they make history. The biggest, most wins in a season ever. Welcome back to Early Start Everyone. I'm John Berman.
Hello, I'm Lynda Kinked in for Christine Romance. It is 32 minutes past the hour. And we are counting down the final hours to the battle in Brooklyn. Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton preparing to face off tonight in a critical debate that you can see live right here on CNN. And the stakes could not be higher. The New York primary is now 5 days away. And if Sanders can pull off an upset, the Democrats could be facing a contested convention. The latest Quinnipiac University poll suggests that Sanders has a steep uphill climb, trailing Clinton by 13 points. But the Vermont senator says he is up for the challenge.
The big debate. There's been a lot of hot talk. What do you expect on that stage tomorrow night? What's going to be different?
I think it will be a good debate in which Secretary Clinton and I discuss the very strong differences of opinion that we have about how we go forward in this country. And if that takes place, I will be very happy, and I'm confident that the vision that I am bringing forth is a vision that will be supported by the vast majority of the people in New York.
Will it be different than what we've been hearing the last few days?
Well, I'll tell you about it tomorrow.
Bernie Sanders there speaking to our Chris Cuomo. And in less than 17 hours, the candidates take the debate stage. We get more from CNN senior Washington correspondent Jeff Zeleny.
John and Linda, the Democratic presidential campaign sounding more like a rock concert. I'm here in Washington Square Park Wednesday night. Bernie Sanders supporters rallying by the thousands. Now, Hillary Clinton supporters also gathering in the Bronx. But they are all building up to that debate tonight in Brooklyn. It's going to be the first time that both candidates have come face-to-face in 5 weeks, coming at a critical moment in this campaign. Now, Bernie Sanders believes a win in New York could elevate him forward and really change the course of this race. The Clinton campaign believes the math is on their side, but no question when they come face-to-face tonight at that debate stage, it is one moment, one opportunity for Bernie Sanders to raise some of those questions in person he's been raising behind the scenes. Now, Hillary Clinton will be making the argument that Bernie Sanders is untested. Bernie Sanders will raise questions about Secretary Clinton's judgment. That's why tonight in Brooklyn, so important, this final debate before next week's New York primary. John and Linda.
All right, Jeff Zeleny, Washington Square Park. Bernie Sanders ready to take what could be one of the biggest risks of his presidential campaign. After the debate tonight in Brooklyn, Bernie Sanders will leave the campaign trail. He's going to leave the country. He's attending an academic conference at the Vatican devoted to economic and social justice. Still, Sanders on the campaign trail for now, hammering Clinton for her ties to Wall Street in his New York rallies. He's not the only one who says he believes that the delegate system is unfair. This is his wife, Jane, taking on the Democratic establishment.
You have to admit, the way that they're doing things in terms of superdelegates and in terms of how delegates are put out there doesn't make a lot of sense to the average person. We're saying it's wrong. We're saying it's not a democratic way to carry out an election.
The Clinton team responds to that, saying they're 2 million votes ahead if you count all the votes so far in the contest. Just hours from now, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders, they are on the debate stage. The CNN presidential debate in Brooklyn tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on CNN.
Well, now to the Republicans. Donald Trump's top target these days is turning out to be his own party. He's still ripping into the NRC for allegedly rigging the delegate system against him. There is a positive development, though, for Team Trump. Prosecutors have decided not to press charges against campaign manager Corey Lewandowski. Reporter Michelle Fields, who claimed Lewandowski assaulted her, expressing her disappointment with that decision. She tweeted, "Prosecutor's office told me they would inform me of a decision tomorrow. If reports are true, guess they decided to leak to reporters first. Ugly." Here's more now from CNN's Sarah Murray.
Good morning, Linda and John. Yesterday was a big day for the Trump campaign. They were going to battle with the RNC, adding new political operatives, and they got one big piece of good news. Their campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, will not be prosecuted for battery in this incident with former Breitbart reporter Michelle Fields. Sources tell CNN that the Florida prosecutor will not move forward with charges in this incident. Remember, this is when Fields said she was grabbed by Corey Lewandowski and pulled back, and he left bruises behind. Now, what this does is it removes another distraction for the Trump campaign. They're at this pivot point where they're trying to bring in new, more seasoned political operatives. They're trying to do a little bit more D.C. outreach, which is expected to start today. But so far, none of this extends to a friendlier tone when dealing with the RNC. Last night in Pittsburgh, Trump still said the process was rigged.
In Colorado right now, they're picketing and going wild because the bosses and the establishment and the people that shouldn't have this power took all of the power away from the voters. So think of it. You beat somebody badly with the people because it's a rigged system, folks. The Republican system is a rigged system.
And now we're seeing RNC Chair Reince Priebus hit back harder on this notion, essentially defending the Republican nominating process.
The rules are there. I know people get frustrated and they're disappointed when things don't go exactly the right way. I think when people are frustrated and upset, they say things that they regret. But certainly one thing that's true is that the rules are not being changed in order to injure or benefit anybody. They are what they are. They're in writing. They're available to anyone that wants to participate. And actually, state by state, they're not all that complicated.
A senior Republican strategist told me this is because he feels like Trump just went too far in calling the party corrupt. Priebus has tried to run a transparent process, and he does not want to see the party come out of this damage. And at the end of the day, you guys, they're all going to have to work together if Donald Trump is the nominee. So we'll see if he shifts his tone at all. He holds 2 campaign events today in New York. Back to you guys.
Thanks to Sarah for that report. Well, tensions were running very high at a Trump rally in Pittsburgh last night. Take a listen. Donald Trump supporters were chanting USA, USA as hundreds of anti-Trump protesters converged on the David Lawrence Convention Center. Police had to separate the two sides. There were several shoving matches, and police used pepper spray at one point, making at least one arrest.
Ted Cruz did a CNN town hall right here in this building overnight. He tried to paint Donald Trump as a mafia-like character straight out of The Godfather. Ted Cruz said that Trump and his henchmen are acting like thugs. He was citing recent threats against the Republican chairman in Colorado as proof that the Trump team is encouraging violence.
They're acting like union boss thugs. In Colorado, I spoke yesterday to the chairman of the Republican Party in Colorado. Trump supporters put out his home address, put out his phone numbers. He got thousands of phone calls. He got death threats. Trump supporters were telling the supporters, go to his house and bring their guns. Look, violence doesn't belong in democracy, and the Trump campaign encourages it over and over again.